Today, we are going on a hike. And during this hike, we are going to investigate a bear den. That's right, a bear den. Exciting, right? I know. And you guys are coming along with me. Now, not only will we be investigating this bear den, but we will be discussing den types and other fun facts about black bears during denning season. Some of these things that we're going to discuss may help prevent you from finding yourself in a situation, a bear that you don't want to be in. So, let's get started. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Might need to stop for a drink of water, man. Oh, just took my head off. I'm thinking about doing a Q&A video soon. So you all let me know if that's something you'll be interested in. And if it is, drop some questions you might have for me down below. Okay, so it is almost the end of March, just a couple of days away until April, which will also signify the end of our black bear denning season. Usually these black bears will den through mid-November to mid-late March. Most, if not all, should have already emerged from their denning. Females typically stay a little bit longer, stay down a little bit longer than males, especially females with cubs. Now, if you're wondering why I'm saying denning and not referring it as hibernation, is because black bears are not true hibernators. That's right, black bears are not true hibernators. They do have a instinctual response to the winter season, the winter months. Body temperature does lower and their heart rate does slow down, but it isn't as significant as a change that you would see in true hibernators like grizzly bears and bats, whose body temperature is lowered just to above freezing and their metabolic state is also lowered. Now, during this denning season for black bears, they will not wake up to, find food, to urinate, to defecate. They're pretty much down for the count unless something wakes them up. Typically, your most common den types are going to be down trees and bush piles. Bears, especially black bears, really like those type of structures for denning, but they are not limited to those type of structures. Go for something like dense mountain laurel groves, which is a native plant here in Connecticut. So those are just some of the wild structures you can find them in. But habituated bears, whose territories more overlap in our communities and more closer to human dwellings, they're going to be in underneath decks and underneath sheds and sewer drains, aqueducts, things like that. You're going to find those habituated bears at. That's cool. Supposed to keep deer out. Supposed to stop them from eating all the plants. Clearly there's no plants in there now, but it's pretty cool. It's giving me Jurassic Park vibes. All right, let's keep going. Man, I'm telling you guys, when we find this bear den, it's gonna be worth it. I promise. slippery. Ugh. Making some form of progress. Whoa, slippery. That's not our den, but I can definitely see something hanging out down there. We are getting close to the den. So close, I could almost smell it. Oh, so slippery. I know I have to cross this stream. Good thing it's dried up a little. This is also a great place to look for paw prints in the mud. I gotta get over there. Make sure every step is precise. The rocks are too slippery. Gotta find another way across. I think I see something. Finally found a spot. Some nice big size rocks over here. Should be able to make those. Don't want to fall down there. All right, getting close. Time to find our den. Okay, so I believe our den somewhere around here. I'm just going off memory here. And also hoping that I don't run into another bear, because I don't have my bear spray, so then all I'm gonna have is these right here. Let's go down and check it out. Now we're really in the thick of it. Time to turn my headlamp on and let's get looking. Now, I've worked with bears before. I know how to handle myself in a situation where if I was to run into a black bear. So I feel pretty confident doing this alone, but just have to say it. Don't do this. Don't go investigate bear dens unless you are willing to run into a bear. But here we are. The wait is finally over. Okay, moment of truth. There goes our den. That is a cub from previous years. Den has not been used for quite some time now. The skull that you see in there was left from one of the cubs. It's not uncommon for a first-time mother to lose one or multiple of the cubs, and it's just not for a first-time mother, but even for a veteran mother, an experienced mother. This is the wild. Things happen. Cubs will die. That's a part of keeping a balanced population. Now, this is just one example of what a bear den could look like. Now, we talked about habituated bears before, which are bears that are no longer afraid of humans. They are becoming a lot more bolder in their actions. So because of this, their den sites are getting closer to our dwellings. So it's not uncommon, especially nowadays, to find a bear denning underneath your deck, denning underneath your shed, right? These type of situations are going to occur, especially as the population continues to increase. And another aspect of that is that the population is increasing of habituated bears that do not fear us. So they're gonna come closer to our dwellings. Bears love human food just like you and I. They're gonna come for your burgers. They're gonna come for your sweets. They're gonna come for whatever you're throwing in your garbage cans. They even love the smell of used diapers, right? They're coming into our areas and they're familiarizing themselves, understanding I can get food here, I can get shelter here, and nothing is going to prevent me from doing that. I want to take some preemptive measures to try and prevent a bear from being able to den underneath your deck, den underneath your shed. I've talked about unwelcome mats before. If you're not familiar with what an unwelcome mat is, go watch the previous video. But to summarize, it is a ply board with nails hammered through it. So it's kind of just a protective layer. Let's say you have lattice underneath your deck. That is essentially paper to a bear. They could easily push that down, dig underneath your deck, and make a nice cozy home for herself and her cubs. So try putting an unwelcome mat to either replace the lattice or to reinforce the lattice. You could put it behind it or in front of it. In front of it may be more ideal. That way the bear isn't able to push against the lattice to get underneath your deck. Same thing for your shed. Also, make that area so undesirable for a bear that they can't find comfort there. One way you can do that is by leaving rags soaked in bleach or ammonia, or just a bucket of bleach as far underneath the deck or shed as possible. They're gonna go as far as back as they can because they want that warmth and they want to be the open. So the further back you get it, the better off. But this isn't a deterrent for the bear. It's just a way to make this area undesirable. It's a strong odor. These bears, their sense of smell is their keen sense. A bear isn't going to want to spend much time there. Also, you can implement hazing tactics, physical or auditory. Physical hazing is causing that bear minimal pain, and that can be done from paintball guns, throwing sticks, throwing rocks, any objects you really at your disposal that won't penetrate the skin. You can use live ammunition, but I would just make sure that they are rubber bullets. Again, we're not trying to kill these bears or cause them extensive pain. You know, here there is no hunting season, so we can't just shoot a bear. So we have to find other non-lethal means to get rid of the problem, which would be the bear. Now it's time for me to
head on out of here before an actual bear decides to come back and renovate this home. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video as always. You guys enjoyed the video as always. And if you did, please comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified the next time I go on an adventure, because I'm sure you want to come along. This also looks like a bear den to me. So maybe there were still bears denning around here.